Hi, thanks for coming with us. In our first video, we finished up in the cathedral, which is at the south end of the Bungle Range. Now, last time I was up here, I thought, well, why do the two? They must be very similar. But how wrong was I? This time, we did the 2 trips. The following day we got up early, had a good breakfast, and then headed off for the north of the Bungles to do the Echidna walk. It was absolutely incredible. This gorge that you see now started off as one trickle of water down through a fault line. And over many thousands of years, some say millions, it grew to what it is today, an absolute torrent of water coming down. I would absolutely love to be up here in the wet season. Unfortunately, you can't get in, too much water. But never mind, hopefully one day I might be able to get up here and fly over this area in the wet. It'd be great. As you walk through this incredible place, you come across these great boulders or rocks. They are parts of the wall that's come adrift and landed at the bottom of the gorge, and in places, as you can see here, they don't quite make it to the bottom. They wedge themselves in. You have to hurry up to get under them, and when we get to the end of the gorge we find this little fella. After our walk we went back to our camp. We spent the afternoon relaxing, gazing up through the sky. Can you see the stick insect in that? And then in the evening we went back to what they call the west wall and we watched the sunset. And again, my camera just can't pick the amount of colour, but there we go, another Kimberly sunset, absolutely beautiful. On the road again and heading off to Broome, but on the way we go through Fitzroy Crossing and we camp here at the RAAF quarry, which was recommended in Brad Key's books. And there we have another Kimberly sunrise. Magic. And we're in Boab country now, and we're seeing more animals. Terrific. And then Broome. This is a main street of Broome, and it is a mixture of old and new that they tried to make look old. And I wasn't terribly impressed with what they're trying to do in Broome. I believe they're trying to make it into the surface paradise of the West. But when in Broome, you must go to this museum. It's only small, but the first time I was up here I spent about 2 hours in there, and this time possibly more than 2 hours, and still didn't see all of it. It's absolutely fantastic. It's one place when in Broome you must go and see. And this is the Chinese cemetery. There's a lot of Chinese up here, also a lot of Japanese that came during the pearling days and died. They're buried here, hundreds of them. But then, of a night, you must go out to Cable Beach, famous, and watch the sunset. And as you're watching it slowly disappearing under the horizon, you're disturbed by the famous camel ride. What a fantastic thing to do, to ride along the beach on a camel and watch the sunset. Cable Beach, you're able to drive your car onto it and get right down to the water's edge and just sit there and take in all the beauty of it. Absolutely terrific. And of course, when it's all over, you drive out again. It's becoming quite a struggle to get the steering wheel out of Rebecca's hands now. She loves this driving caper. Our final morning in Broome, good breakfast, beautiful swim in that beautiful swimming pool, and it's goodbye Broome. Hope I get back there someday. And this is a pool built by the 3rd Platoon during the Second World War. And this is the prison tree. And this is a camping ground at Winjana Gorge. And we're just heading off for a morning stroll. We make our way down towards the gorge and then through this doorway and into the gorge itself, into this beautiful, cool area that's right by the water's edge, nicely treed. And across the other side of the water, real live crocodiles. Amazing. Amazing you can, whoa, and this fellow's on our side of the water. And he's looking right at me. But after our stroll through the gorge, we have to stroll out again because we've got a lot to do today. We're off for Tunnel Creek. Now this is absolutely incredible and absolute must-do. Well, everything's a must-do up here. There's good instructions of what you can do, what you can't do, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But good shoes and a good torch is a must. And I thought I had a good torch until I got into here and discovered that the battery was almost flat. But never mind, it was a good time. There is the entrance into the caves, and Rebecca's making her way cautiously. And she's about to step into the water. And when entering, you look back and you see the sunlight. It's the last you're going to see for quite some time. That's where we're going, into that darkness. About halfway through, there is a ceiling collapse. And you can see that's where we're about to go. I think I left my camera on at that point. But that's what we walk into. Pitch dark. As you can see, my torch is not the best in the world. I should have checked the batteries a bit better beforehand. If you're going, check your batteries. There is actually light at the end of the tunnel. And we finally made it. And there's some more people coming along after us. Just coming out of the darkness now. Now what we have to do is walk all the way back. So we better get going. Back on the road again, and now we're looking at Queen Victoria's head. Some people say that Bell Gorge is the prettiest of the gorges, or the nicest of the gorges, but I don't know so much about that. They've all got beauty, but they're all different. And this one, too populated for our likes, too commercial. Driving over the King Leopold Range on our way to Mount Elizabeth Station. We had not intended going to Mount Elizabeth Station, we meant to go to Manning Gorge, but when we got to the Mount Barnett Roadhouse, we were informed that we couldn't go to the gorge because it was on fire. So we said, oh, well, we won't worry about that. We'll go on to Mitchell Falls. And the young lady told us, well, you can't go to Mitchell Falls either because that's on fire. And we thought, good grief. But she did say, well, you can go to Mount Elizabeth Station, that's open. We hadn't really considered Mount Elizabeth because it's 30 kilometres off the Gibb River Road on what was described as not a very good track. But given no option, we thought, well, we're in a four-wheel drive, they can go anywhere, so we'll give it a try. We found the road into Mount Elizabeth quite good, in fact very good. And when we got there, we found another little patch of Kimberly paradise. It was so good. It is still a working cattle station, privately owned. The camping facilities are very good. Not a lot of them, but very good. 2 showers, 2 toilets. And we were told, grab a fire ring, set yourself up anywhere you like, which we did. And then she gave us the rundown of the area, complete with 2 mud maps of the gorges that are in the station. So we settled in for the night, had a really good night by the campfire, talking to other campers there and talking about getting into the gorge. We were told it was about a 10-kilometre drive that would take us at least an hour, and we thought, wow, a bit of four-wheel driving at last. But it was really, really good to click the hubs into four-wheel drive and get off on the track. The track was rough in some places, but very drivable in most of it. And the first part leads you to a car park. And they said only the experienced go beyond the car park for the last kilometre or so into the gorge. We decided we'd give it a try, and off we went. Wow, what a fantastic four-wheel drive. It was really, really great. We got down in the gorge, and as you can see, we spent some really good time there. The swimming was magnificent. The water was just the right temperature. To sit underneath the waterfall was brilliant. Of course, I didn't take my camera in there, and you can actually sit behind the falls and watch the water as a curtain in front of you. The Aboriginal art there was most probably the best you'll find anywhere in Australia, I would say. And to me, it turned out to be one of the best places we stayed at. It was good. As I said yesterday, that Bell Gorge was too crowded, too commercialised. We got the surprise of our life. In a short time you'll see why. When we got back to our campsite after this magnificent drive, we were met by 400 cyclists and their support crew. And surprisingly enough, we weren't crowded. It was terrific. And they had a video going till about 9 o'clock, and everything quietened down at 9. Everyone went to bed, and it was another fantastic day. The Give Challenge is a fundraising event done on mountain bikes annually, and the bikes have tyres like tractor tyres to get them through the sand. They do a fantastic job, and we got to talk to some of them, and it was great. We had to get up early in the morning and depart the station before these guys got going, because 400 bikes on the road, it'd be a big challenge for us. We did it.